How to create and use Divi Child Themes by Patrick Lumumba for Divi Nairobi. What is a child theme? A child theme is an active theme that inherits the look, feel, and functions of the parent theme that's inactive. When a modification is made to the child theme, they are kept separate from the parent theme's files, ensuring that a new update on the parent theme doesn't interfere with your modifications. So, when do you need a child theme? 1. You need a child theme if you're making changes to Divi's PHP theme template files such as header.php, footer.php, single.php, 44.php, and so much more. 2. You need a child theme if you are adding custom functions or code snippets to functions.php and you don't want to add them through another plugin like code snippets. 3. You need a child theme if you are customizing the theme's JavaScript files or adding lots of new JavaScript. 4. You need a child theme if you're making edits or additions to any file that is within Divi's theme files. Lastly, you need a child theme if you don't want clients to see any code that is saved in the theme options so that they don't mess with it and break something. Divi comes with the option of adding custom CSS and custom JavaScript right within the theme options. You only need to go to Divi, theme options, and then for the custom CSS under the general tab, scroll down to the custom CSS box and you will be able to add your custom CSS. For the JavaScript that needs to be added in the head section of your blog, within the theme options under the tab integrations, scroll down and you'll find the box where you can be able to add your custom JavaScript code. So if you don't want your clients to see any code that is saved in the theme options, then the best is to use a Divi child theme. Now let's create a Divi child theme. We shall need 1. A computer, 2. A text editor, a plain text editor. This could be Notepad, Notepad++, text edit app if you're on Mac, or VS Code. It all depends on your preference. If you prefer to use Notepad++, use that. If you prefer to use brackets, use that. All you need is a plain text editor. First thing that you're going to do is to create a folder within your desktop. Call it the name of your child theme. You can have it as, let's say, my first child theme. Be sure to use hyphens so that we don't end up with spaces in your child theme's name. The 3 files that you're going to create include a style.css, functions.php, and then screenshot.png. Those are the 3 main files that you need for your child theme to function properly. Let's create the style.css. So within your folder, the folder that you created, just right click and create a new file, either with VS Code or the text editor that you're using. And then once it's open, what you'll notice here is that for the style.css, the first part of the code, that is from line 1 to line 13, is just but to give your child theme the identity. For example, in this case, if this child theme will be activated, the theme name will be divibanks and the theme URL will be divibanks.com. You'll also be able to see the description of that child theme within the themes section in your WordPress admin dashboard. And you can also spell out the license, like it has to be a GNU license, it has to be a GPL license. And in this case, we are using the GPL license version 2 or later. And then after that, from after line 13, you can always add your custom CSS from line 14. So the custom CSS that you were to add under the custom CSS box within the theme options, you can always come and add it here. And that way your clients would want to be able to see it, to break it, or to mess up with it. The next file that you're going to create is functions.php. So for a PHP file, we first have the opening tag, the PHP opening tag. And if you use PHP a lot, you must have noticed that in this file, we don't have the closing tag. The reason is we are letting the parent file, the parent theme, we are letting the functions.php in the parent theme to do the closing for us. So the lines 3 to 6 are just but to enqueue the file that you had created earlier, that is the style.css. If you are to add any custom functions, do so below line 9. And then don't close. There is no problem in closing, but we are letting the closing to be done by the functions.php for the parent theme. The third and the last file that you're going to create is the screenshot. It has to be screenshot.png. So you can use any image editor app that you're comfortable using, either Canva, Photoshop, or any other thing, Snapper, or whichever. Use it to create a screenshot for your child theme. If you go to the theme section, there is the appearance themes, and then you look at the list of the themes that are there. You'll see that they have images. Those images are the screenshots of those themes. So if you want your theme to also have one of those, you'll have to create one and ensure that it is 1200 by 900 pixels. You could also use 880 by 660. There is no problem with that, but ensure that you have a screenshot.png when exporting the file, or when adding that file, the image file, to the folder of your child theme. Ensure that you rename it to screenshot, and it has to be exported in PNG format. Now, what will be in the folder? You've created the functions.php, you've created the style.css, and you've also added the screenshot.png in our folder. So once you've done that, what you're going to do is to compress the file or the folder and end up with a zip file. So this is the final thing that you're going to have. We're going to have the zip file for our child theme that we can now install in our Divi WordPress site. Remember, for this child theme to work, there has to be Divi theme already installed. It doesn't have to be active, but it has to be there. The first thing that this child theme will be looking for during installation is if the parent theme, that is Divi theme, is present. If it's not present, it will tell you and it will not work. So ensure that Divi is installed, and then you can now install this child theme via any method that you like. You could use FTP, via file manager, or you could upload it directly from within your WordPress admin dashboard. That is by going through appearance, themes, upload. You upload the file from your computer and then install. Then once it's been installed, activate. Then that's it. That's a child theme. So the next time that you're making changes or adding custom CSS files, how will you do it? You can do that through file manager or via FTP, or the best and the quickest way is to edit the theme file editor. How do you do that? You go to appearance, you scroll down to theme file editor, you click on it, and it will tell you it will ask you if you're really sure to make changes to the theme files. Say you understand and start making changes. You can switch between functions.php, PHP, and style.css. So that's it. That's how to create Divi Child Theme. Thank you and Thank you so much for watching.